Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Mickey Sunshine Creates, and I'm Mickey. I'm just hanging out here today, working on my Chuck Pinson. It's a beautiful day outside. I probably should be outside enjoying the sun, but it's too hot. So I stay in here. Y is next. Where are the Y's? There they are. Y's. Anyway, I figured I'd just hang out a little bit with you guys. See what's going on. I hope you're all having a good day and enjoying it as much as I am, because I'm working on my Chuck. In case you're wondering, this is Chuck Pinson's Island Time. And yes, it's almost done. I have this and this and this and this section to complete, and I'm done. I know I worked on this very fast. I can't help it. I work fast, and I work all day. So I wind up finishing these things a lot faster than you would think. I mean, I started this last week. No, I started this the 29th. So 15 days and I'm almost done. Why? No, I'm not asking why. I'm looking for why. I guess there are no more 4s. But there is a 3 here. 3 space. Yeah, I'm using my 4 spacer to put down my 3 drills. And now we go to individual. Anyway, I have nothing planned for this week, except I do have to see my primary care physician tomorrow morning. So I will be going out and enjoying the day. Hopefully it's going to be as nice tomorrow as it is today. Maybe a little cooler, I would hope. Never know. But we are coming into our heat season. It's going to start to get hot soon. Even hotter than it already is. That's when living in Florida, not so good. But then, like up north in the wintertime, you spend most of your time indoors, and you're going from outdoors to car, from car to indoors. You know, there's not a lot that that's going to upset you. What was I talking about? Oh, the heat. That was wrong. Anyway. I totally forgot what I was talking about.
Inside.
But
Stuck inside.
what was that?
Stuck inside?
I'm stuck inside? Yeah. I'm not stuck inside.
Well, that's what you were getting at.
That's my roommate. Gotta stick his little 2 cents in.
Car to indoors to
Um,
no outdoors.
but it's nice that the weather has been behaving and not raining, because our rainy season isn't supposed to start till June. And the last thing we need are March showers. At least it's better than cold and rain. Oh, I hate it when it's chilly and it's raining. and you're outside. That's when you're feeling miserable. I do not like the cold. Even inside here, sometimes I have my air conditioning set at 76, and I still get cold sometimes. I also sweat at times. I get too hot. But the fact that I get cold with a temperature of 76, interesting, isn't it? Yeah, it's very interesting. Anyway, like I said, there's not much for me to talk about. I just want to hang out and diamond paint all day. And I guess talk with friends. So I'm talking with you guys, even though I'm not saying much. I'm sorry. I find humor in the most oddest places. Yeah. I could talk about vacation I took. I took a tour of Florida. This was way back when I was married to my last husband, my third husband, Peter. And he had never seen Florida. Now, I had been to many places in Florida already, but I wanted to take him first class to various spots in Florida. So we first stopped at the Ritz in Naples. Oh man, that was nice. Though the rooms were average, the hotel was beautiful, and the food in the hotel was out of this world. I will never forget that because it was really, really good. And I'm a bit of a gourmand. I like good food, if you know me at all. You know that's very, very, very true. I like food. That's an understatement. Anyway, so we were in Naples for one night at the Ritz. I wanted to see what it was like to spend the night at the Ritz. And we did. And it was lovely. And from there we went and traveled up to Clearwater, where we saw a friend of his that was living up there at the time. So we went and we spent a day in Clearwater, which was really nice. I mean, Clearwater is a pretty little city. And we had an enjoyable time. His friend was a Scientologist. And as a Scientologist, he was not allowed really to have friends outside of Scientology. So it was strange that they allowed us in to the inner sanctum where he was, because they don't allow visitors, and they're very closed about it. But we saw him, we had a good time, and then Peter and I, that was my last husband, third husband Peter, we went up to Orlando and to Disney World. And we stayed at Port Orleans in Disney. It was absolutely wonderful. That's my favorite hotel there on property, is Port Orleans. Not sure why, but when it goes for the mid-range, moderate hotels, Port Orleans is it for me. Just floats my boat, so to speak. And we spent like 3 or 4 days in Orlando, going to Disney World, having dinner at various places, because the food up there is really good. And just having a good old time at Disney, which is now closed. I'd never thought I'd see the day that there wasn't a hurricane and it was closed. I don't know what's going to happen with that. I mean, these companies, all of these companies and factories are losing thousands and thousands of dollars. And I'm afraid that we're headed into a depression because of it. And we're going to start rationing soon, because people are running away with toilet paper, which is ridiculous. I'm sure there are many people who have gotten all that toilet paper, not for themselves, but so that they can price gouge when times become desperate. But you got to remember, they lived without toilet paper for centuries. If we have to, we can live without toilet paper again. We'll figure it out. We're not stupid apes, we're smart humans. Anyway, after Disney, we had such a good time. I mean, I love that place. I'm sorry. It's one of my favorite places to visit. And being a Florida resident and getting the discount that they give you always makes it seem even nicer. But from there, we went to St. Augustine. And we stayed at a bed and breakfast in St. Augustine, right off of Old Town, where the old Main Street used to be. And let me tell you, it was lovely. We took a carriage ride around St. Augustine. We walked up and down, window shopping and buying. I bought a few things, and in fact I still have a few things from that trip. And generally we had a great time. You know, St. Augustine is a beautiful city. And you really should, if you ever get a chance to get down here, do so. So we stayed overnight in this bed and breakfast, which was adorable. I mean, typical bread and breakfast. I even sat out on the porch for a little while drinking. And in the evening. That was fun. Those were the days when I could get around much easier than I can now. Now, it wouldn't be the same because of my disability. But back then, it was wonderful. So what we did, which is, a lot of people would think us strange. You may think it's strange. But instead of taking the highway back, and we would have been home in like 4 hours, 4.5 hours, we decided to take A1A all the way down to Broward, where we were living. And we did that. We took A1A, and it was a long trip, but very scenic, very beautiful, and very relaxing. At times we had to get off A1A and onto US 1 because A1A just doesn't continue unbroken because it's on the islands, little islands in Florida that stick out, like Miami Beach. Miami Beach is really on an island. Anyway, it took us 9.5 hours to get home going that way. 9.5 hours of driving. And it was wonderful. We had such a good time. And that was my tour of Florida. And I'd give anything to do it again. Of course, I'd give anything to be as healthy as I was back then. But can't turn back the clock, much as we'd like to. So that was my trip and my tour of Florida that I took my husband on. And we had a very, very good time. Now, we went back to Disney quite a few times after that. Usually never stayed for more than a long weekend. 2 nights, 3 nights maybe. Usually just 2 nights. And sometimes, and sometimes we'd go up there just for the day. Because it's about a 3-hour trip, 3.5 hour, which is not bad when you're driving it. You're on the turnpike and it's really smooth and easy driving. You just, chalk her up to 70 and boom, off you go. So we've even made day trips up there to go up there for the day when you don't have the money to spend overnight. But we had season passes at that time. We wanted to get our money's worth. So we'd go up and ride the rides and have fun and just go crazy and then have dinner and then drive back home. We'd be home by 10 o'clock. Sometimes 11. But even so, we had our own company, so it was no big deal. And it was always on a weekend, too, that we did it. Just drive up there. Now, I'm working on this Chuck Pinson, and we all know why. It's for the hashtag Chuckalong. I hope you guys are working on yours or working on something. Whether you're crocheting, knitting, diamond painting, cross-stitching, whatever. Whatever. I hope you're enjoying what you're doing. But right now, I want you to know that we have prizes for the Chuckalong. And I will be picking a prize out next week. Mindy will be picking her prize this week. Yes, Mindy is hosting this with me. And do I have another one? No, I don't think so. I think, oh no, you found some more. Yep. So anyway, if you want to be entered into the contest, into the giveaway for the prize, and it's nothing fancy, and it may or may not be diamond painting related, but if you want to enter, you need to leave a comment down below. And I want you to comment me where you've gone on a vacation that was so memorable you will remember it for the rest of your life. Tell me a little about it. Also, I want you to put in the hashtag Chuckalong. If you don't have the hashtag Chuckalong, your comment will be what's the word? Not allowed. It will be removed from the group for the drawing. So please make sure that you put in hashtag Chuckalong, because we want you to have the prizes, and we want everybody to have a fair chance. So next week I will be choosing the winner of the prize. And there you go. Now don't forget a message about where you've been on vacation, what vacation you've had that will stay with you for the rest of your life. I have another one that will stay with me for the rest of my life, but I'll tell you that another time. In the meantime, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and press that like button, whether you're new or not. And if you're new, hit that bell also that's next to the subscribe button so that you're notified every time I upload a new video or go live. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and until next time, arrivederci.